I'm now on the hunt for willow. So behind me there's a rather damp patch of woodland, so I'm hoping that I can find some willow down there to process into cordage for my bow drill project. I'm down in the damp patch now, and yes, there's willow here. I'm just hoping I can find something the right diameter. I'm looking for a nice straight piece about 3 to 4 inches in diameter. So I've been looking around now and I've seen a lot of nice shoots, but they've been a bit small. But I have actually found this one here. So I'm going to saw that off now to about a 5-6 foot length and take it back to camp. It's pretty tangled up in here and my feet are now wet. Just got back to camp, got my willow and soaking wet feet. So I got my big lump of willow. I'm going to section it down now to make my life a bit easier. So this is the best piece. That's the good shit. Only another 3 to go. So all the outer back stripped off now. I'm just going to give them a good scraping to get any bits left off. And repeat another 3 times. So that's the rest of the treedom. Now, to cut the long story short, I did actually do this last week, but I lost the footage. Well, I lost 90% of the footage because I deleted it. Long story, no point in going into it, but I'm a clown and I shouldn't have done it. So basically, I made cordage from in the back of the willow. Now, the original cordage I made here a week and a half ago. Unfortunately, I left in the other camp because I thought I'd completed the challenge, so I didn't need it. So I've made some more. Now, it's still damp. The original cordage wasn't this colour because I gathered so much cordage I thought shame to waste it, so I'd been soaking it in a lye solution. So I pulled some out, hadn't dried it, and made enough to do another bow drill set. So that's why it's gone a funny colour, because it actually has been soaking. So I'm going to leave this out now just to dry a little bit while I sort all my stuff out and get ready. Well, actually last week when I did the challenge, I did a call and like a fool I'd forgotten to make a tinder bundle. I had everything else ready but I didn't have a tinder bundle ready. So I actually managed to light it with a pile of leaves, which is quite difficult, but I did manage it. And if you follow me on Instagram, there is a photo on there of everything done. So I'm going to show you now what I gathered this morning in the woods on the way in. So I got bracken for a tinder bundle. I've got a nice big punk wood pile and some really nice dry sticks, because I'm not going to do the same mistake I did last week. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to sort the fireplace out and get myself ready for a call. There's my drill. It's a willow drill. As I say, it has been used before. But I'll start from scratch. So I'll clean that off and I'll do a new hole. Well, this punk wood's really good, so I'm going to use it in the bundle as a coal extender. Luckily we've had a couple of dry days here, so it's pretty easy to do this. It hasn't rained for 2 days. So now I'm going to break my sticks up. These are the small twigs now, which will take the flame from the tinder bundle up and grow the fire. So there's the fire lay. I've left it open towards the breeze so I can put my tinder bundle in there and put the thin twigs on top, and then some more twigs on top of that, and it'll be stable as well. New hole, sharpen that off, strings in the bow, and the SE tool. I'm going to burn the hole in. So we got a coal. Now I'm going to take that over the fireplace. Thin twigs. There we go, pretty much textbook, worked well. I'm pleased with that. And now it's time for tea. Check this out, the willow log which I harvested the cordage from has been here now 2 weeks, and it's dried and split of its own accord. Never seen that before. Well, friction fire challenge is more or less done. I just need to make them punkwood tinder now, which to be honest is pretty easy anyway. But I'm going to have to go off now and gather some green ferns and some dry ferns to smother it. My thoughts on the friction fire: that was probably the easiest coal I've ever done with the least amount of effort, because the set is absolutely perfect. The combination of a willow drill and an ivy hearth is just brilliant. I'd never done it before. I'd always used hazel on ivy and willow on willow, but I thought I'd mix it up a bit, seeing as when I started making the sets I made 2 hearths and 2 drills, so that was brilliant. I'm really pleased with that. So materials gathered, and what I basically do is put some wet ferns, well, green ferns down on the ground, then some dry, this can be leaves or anything really, as long as one layer's damp and one layer's dry. So I'll be putting the charred material in there, then putting another bit of dry stuff on top of it, and then some green stuff on top of that, and pressing it down to put it out. Now I've seen this technique, I think it was last year, with Far North Bushcraft and Survival, Lonnie, who is a great guy and very knowledgeable. Still see a bit of smoke coming out of it. So I'm going to leave that now for an hour or so, and I'm going to strike a light into it, strike spark into it later, so then that'll be me fulfilling my challenge. I don't actually have to make a fire with it because, well, I know I can light a fire with a big lump of charred tinder like that anyway, so that's not brain surgery. Now today's next project is I'm going to make bread on a stick. Hang on, fire's in my face. So basically, when I harvested the willow bark, there was a byproduct, which was a nice clean trunk of wood. And I got to thinking, oh, I can make bread on a stick. As I've seen various people doing bread on a stick, and they really do a bad job of it. So I'm going to show you now how I do it my way. So nice clean piece of wood. I'm going to build the fire up now, warm the wood up, and I'm going to wrap the bread mix around it, and I can turn it as it goes. So I got my regular mix, which I do most breads with, which is white flour, milk powder, bit of salt, and some raising agent, which is baking powder. So I'm going to aerate this now, and then I'm going to mix it up with some water. I'm not going to make it as dry as I normally make it when I cook on a pan. I'm going to leave it a bit wetter so I can wrap it around the stick. Always remember, with Bannock, you mix and you don't knead. So that's roughly about the right consistency now. It's pliable enough, but I can pick it up without it sticking to my hands. So the log's nice and warm now. It's like a dick. I'm going to build the fire up now. The wind's blowing that way, so I'll just get heat off then and no smoke. And I'll be turning this around. So you can see it started to brown and it's definitely risen, so I just got to keep turning it. Not far off done now. I've let the fire die down now, and I've just moved the bread a bit closer just to brown it. What's good about doing the two sticks like that, you've got multiple options when the fire dies down or when it's roaring. You can turn things around and put them closer to the fire. So that bread is basically cooked now. I'm going to give it another couple of minutes to brown, and then we'll cut into it and see if it cooked properly. Now last week when I did this challenge, as I said earlier, and lost all the footage, I did manage to find some rocks which did spark with the SE tool. Now up here, this particular woodland, there's no rocks, hardly anything. So I've been for a little forage and I found an upturned tree, and I found some rocks embedded in it. Now I'm not holding up much hope, but I'm going to smash them together and see if I'm going to get anything. I got sparks. Didn't expect that. Right. So next thing is now, I'm going to grab my tinder and see if I can light it. Cold. Hang on. Now this rock is not anywhere near as good as flint or the rock I found last week. So you may have a fail with this. I've had two land, but they didn't stay. No, it's just falling apart. Well, there we go. No fail. Job done. So while that coal's growing, I might as well get it aflame. I'll use the bracken that I smothered it in. That's unpleasant. Job done. Cool, pleased with that. Considering I didn't think that rock would be any good. So as I think I said earlier, next time I do this, I'm going to do it all in one day from scratch, and I'm either going to just use that and a knife, or I'm going to use a carbon steel knife, because I am thinking of putting a divot and a copper penny in the handle of my Mora Bushcraft Black, and that'll take a spark as well, so I may just do it all with that, but I haven't decided yet because it may not work because of the rubber handle. We'll see in about a month or so. So the bread's had 10 minutes to cool now, so let's have a look if it's any good. Looks done to me. Nothing wrong with that. Well, thanks folks for watching my video. I do appreciate any comments and any thumbs up you leave. Thank you, and thanks for watching. So the bread's had 10 minutes to cool now, so let's have a look if it's any good. Looks done to me. Nothing wrong with that. I'm going to spit it out now because I want to talk. Now, a good few years ago, I was helping out on a course as an instructor, but more of a helping hand because it was a large course. And there was a guy instructing, and we stopped, and he said, right, we're going to now make bannock on a stick. Well, I never seen anything like it in my life. He got a dirty old stick, he made the wettest lump of bannock I've ever seen, got the stick and just shoved it on top and put it by the fire, and it was dripping down the stick. There was no way in this planet it was going to cook, and I walked away in disgust. I couldn't help it, it was just so bad, and this guy was calling himself an instructor. So I hope that was helpful to you. It's in a nice clean stick, and that was perfect. Yeah. Bread's cooked just fine. Whether I'll eat it now is another matter, because I'm going out for lunch.